It's official. The WWE Universe just witnessed the most explosive moment in SmackDown history, and nobody saw it coming. What started as Roman Reigns' apparent career-ending beatdown in Paris has now spiraled into something unprecedented, a reunion so nuclear that it's literally rewriting the future of professional wrestling. We're not talking about your typical comeback story here. This is about betrayal, revenge, and a ghost from the past that nobody expected. Sources close to WWE are calling this the biggest power shift in decades. The Shield is back, and it's already sending shockwaves through the entire industry. Roman Reigns was left for dead. Seth Rollins declared him finished. But whispers grew louder about a return that would change everything. A name that sent the internet into absolute chaos: Jon Moxley. Tonight, we're diving deep into the most devastating moment that has wrestling insiders scrambling and fans losing their minds. Because what happened on September 5th, 2025 wasn't just a surprise return, it was a calculated strike that's about to tear the wrestling world apart. Buckle up, this changes absolutely everything. Let's rewind a bit, because the story of how we got here is darker than anyone imagined. For 3 years, Roman Reigns ruled WWE with an iron fist as the tribal chief. He was untouchable, unstoppable, and absolutely ruthless. The bloodline was his empire, and he sat at the head of the table like wrestling royalty. But empires fall, and Romans came crashing down in the most brutal way possible. September 2025, Paris. Roman Reigns was savagely attacked by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Medical staff stretched him out while the WWE Universe watched in stunned horror. His ribs were cracked, his empire was in ruins, and his legacy was hanging by a thread. Seth Rollins took to the mic week after week, mocking the fallen king. "The tribal chief is dead," Seth sneered. "The vision is the future." But here's what nobody knew. While Roman was recovering in silence, something explosive was brewing behind the scenes. Sources familiar with WWE's inner circle reveal that secret meetings were happening. Phone calls were being made, and a name that hadn't been whispered in WWE corridors for 6 years was suddenly trending worldwide: Jon Moxley. The former Dean Ambrose, the lunatic fringe who walked away from WWE in 2019 to forge his own path in AEW. The man who became a walking war machine, a world champion, and a legend in his own right. But the Shield was never far from his story. Old clips started resurfacing on social media. Fist bumps, triple power bombs, that iconic entrance through the crowd. Wrestling insiders began dropping cryptic hints about unfinished business. Fans who never forgot the bond between Moxley, Reigns, and Rollins started connecting the dots. Then came the rumor that set the internet on fire. Moxley was spotted at a WWE hotel. The wrestling world exploded. Was it possible? Could the king of AEW return to the company he once called home? People started asking the question that would change everything. Was Jon Moxley the key to Roman's revenge? Every SmackDown became must-watch television. Wrestling sites were dropping articles by the hour. The speculation hit fever pitch. And then, on one electric night in Chicago, the impossible happened. But here's where it gets even more explosive than anyone could have imagined. September 5th, 2025, wasn't just about a surprise return, it was about a calculated strike that had been planned for months. Let me paint you the scene that shattered the wrestling world. Chicago's United Center. The arena was electric, fans on their feet expecting something big. Seth Rollins and the Vision, in the ring, gloating and tearing into Roman again. The crowd, restless, sensing something was about to explode. Seth grabbed the mic with that smug confidence we've all come to hate. "You're nothing without your family. You're nothing without me." The crowd booed, but they were hungry for something more. That's when the lights dimmed. A siren wailed, the Titantron flickered with static, then showed an ambulance pulling into the arena. The roof blew off the United Center. But that's not even the most shocking part, because when that ambulance door opened, it wasn't just Roman Reigns who stepped out. Standing shoulder to shoulder with the battered tribal chief was Jon Moxley. Not Dean Ambrose, not a ghost from the past, but the Death Rider himself. Commentators Michael Cole and Corey Graves were speechless. "Is this real?" Cole stammered. "The Shield is alive!" Graves screamed. The crowd erupted in deafening "Shield! Shield!" chants. Sources close to the production reveal that even WWE staff were caught off guard. This wasn't leaked to dirt sheets. This wasn't spoiled on social media. This was pure, unfiltered shock delivered with surgical precision. Roman, despite his injuries, grabbed the mic with fire in his eyes. They left me to bleed. They left me to be forgotten. But tonight, I'm not alone. The crowd was absolutely unglued, but when Moxley stepped forward with that old lunatic fire burning in his eyes, the arena reached a level of chaos that veterans say they'd never experienced. You forgot what chaos looks like. You forgot what danger looks like, and you're looking at them now. What happened next was pure anarchy. Roman, despite his injuries, charged the ring and speared Seth Rollins clean through a barricade. Moxley dove in, unloading on the Vision with devastating precision. Tables were breaking, bodies were flying, it was absolute carnage. SmackDown ended with Roman and Moxley standing tall, delivering the Shield's iconic fist bump in the center of the ring. Then came the nuclear moment that proved this wasn't just a one-night shock. This was the beginning of something unprecedented. Here's where you need to hype this moment. If you're as blown away by this reunion as we are, hit that hype button and give this video some points. Because what we're about to reveal next shows just how deep this conspiracy really goes, and you're going to want to support content that brings you these exclusive insights before anyone else gets them. The fallout was immediate and devastating. WWE social media exploded with Shield highlights getting millions of views. Wrestling Insiders confirmed Moxley's AEW contract allows for special WWE appearances. Speculation reached fever pitch about a full Shield reunion at WrestleMania. Industry veterans called it the biggest SmackDown moment in a decade, but sources familiar with the situation reveal this goes much deeper than anyone realized. Word on the street is that secret negotiations had been happening for months. People close to both WWE and AEW confirmed that Tony Khan himself was involved in making this crossover possible. This isn't just about nostalgia, one insider told us. This is about rewriting the entire landscape of professional wrestling. The evidence keeps mounting. Moxley's cryptic AEW promos from earlier this year suddenly make sense. He was hinting at unfinished business. Roman's extended absence wasn't just for injury recovery. It was strategic planning. The timing of Seth's heel turn now looks like it was orchestrated to set up this exact moment, but that's not even the most explosive part. Sources close to WWE's creative team reveal that this reunion has been in the works since Roman's attack in Paris. The entire storyline was carefully orchestrated to create maximum impact. They wanted to create a moment that would be talked about for decades, one production insider revealed, and they succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. The numbers don't lie. Social media engagement spiked 400% within hours. WWE stock prices jumped significantly the next trading day. Merchandise sales for Shield-related items exploded overnight. International wrestling media called it a seismic shift. Wrestling veterans who've seen it all are calling this the most significant moment since The Rock's return or Stone Cold's comeback. But unlike those moments, this one has long-term implications that could reshape the entire industry. This isn't just about the Shield anymore. What we're witnessing is a fundamental shift in how professional wrestling operates, and the implications are absolutely staggering. Industry insiders are calling this the beginning of a new era. Here's why this moment is bigger than wrestling itself. The AEW-WWE crossover revolution. Tony Khan and WWE's partnership opens doors that were sealed shut for years. Talent exchanges between promotions could become the new normal. Wrestling fans worldwide are witnessing history in the making. The forbidden door isn't just cracked. It's been blown off its hinges. Sources familiar with both companies reveal that this is just the beginning. Word on the street is that more crossover events are already being planned. People close to the situation claim that major AEW stars could appear at WWE events and vice versa. This changes everything, one wrestling executive told us. The territorial wars are over. Now it's about creating the best possible entertainment. But the cultural impact goes even deeper. Mainstream media attention has reached levels not seen since the Attitude Era. Celebrity endorsements are pouring in from unexpected places. Social media algorithms are pushing wrestling content to non-wrestling audiences. International markets are taking notice in unprecedented ways. The financial implications are equally explosive. Streaming numbers for both WWE and AEW content have skyrocketed. Merchandise collaborations between companies are being discussed. Pay-per-view buy rates are projected to reach historic levels. Sponsorship deals are being renegotiated with massive increases. Wrestling journalists who've covered the industry for decades are calling this a watershed moment. The old rules don't apply anymore. The territorial mindset that kept promotions separate is crumbling in real time. We're not just watching a reunion, one veteran reporter explained. We're watching the birth of a new wrestling landscape. The ripple effects are already being felt. Other wrestling promotions are scrambling to create their own crossover moments. Talent contracts are being rewritten to allow for inter-promotional appearances. Wrestling schools are teaching students to be multi-promotional ready. Fan expectations have been permanently elevated. What started as Roman Reigns' revenge story has become a revolution that's reshaping an entire industry. And we're only seeing the beginning. So where does this explosive reunion lead us? The answer is more shocking than you could imagine. WrestleMania 2026 is already being positioned as the biggest event in wrestling history. Sources close to WWE reveal that The Shield versus The Vision could headline the show, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Word on the street is that more AEW stars are in talks for WWE appearances. The forbidden door isn't just open, it's been completely demolished. Wrestling insiders claim that major announcements are coming that will shake the industry to its core. But here's what has everyone really talking. Is Seth Rollins ready for what's coming? The Vision may be bigger than ever, but they're now facing two warriors with nothing to lose. Roman and Moxley aren't just reunited, they're hungrier than ever. The chaos is just beginning. This reunion isn't just nostalgia. It's the start of a war that could redefine professional wrestling forever. The question isn't whether the Shield's legacy will rise again. The question is, will the wrestling world ever be the same? One thing's certain, we're about to find out.